Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. I'm Dave Froehlich. We're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have made headlines recently in our area. The mother of a teen who was shot 30 times is disappointed in the plea deal her son's killer was offered. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis.
Julieta Serrano stands outside of a Travis County courtroom holding a picture of her son.
One day, I'll see my baby again. I know I will.
On the other side of those doors, a deal was made. A week before they were supposed to go to trial, Irvin Coronado Palacio pleaded guilty to murder in exchange for 20 years in prison.
I think 20, not enough.
In May 2023, Brian Serrano was found dead in a car in Southeast Austin. Police say then 17-year-old Coronado Palacio shot Serrano 30 times with an AR.
If you go back, you look at the communications between these teens, they were out doing this, jacking cars with these weapons as a organized criminal unit.
Coronado Palacio was arrested and charged with murder, but just a few months later, he was able to bond out.
It's been a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Not even a year later, he was picked up in Hays County for trafficking and sexual assault of a child charges.
His family came up with $15,000 and he came out and broke the law again. He has no respect for human life, for the state, for nothing.
Coronado Palacio will now face those felony charges in Hays County.
And I actually am aware of what that judge has been thinking or what he's been saying from the bench. He knows about this case. He knows about the jury trial that was set here and the murder charge. And I think that somebody who was in court at the time said that he wanted to make sure that they put the bench warrant on it so that if Travis County fumbled the ball, that they would be able to pick it up. And so I'm hopeful that he will consider this a fumble.
The largest police union in Texas says the catch and release of Coronado Palacio and the, quote, sweetheart deal given for murder sends a clear message to our community that Garza is hell-bent on releasing hardened criminals back into the public. Serrano says she'll be in the courtroom in Hays County to support those who have been hurt by Coronado Palacio.
I miss my child. I miss him. And this only settles the judicial side of it. My burden will be until I see my child again.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch.
Fox 7 received a statement from the Travis County District Attorney's Office that said in part, quote, our hearts continue to break for the Serrano family, and we hope this outcome continues to support their healing process. In every case, we have an obligation to evaluate the facts and evidence and to do our best to reach a conclusion that ensures justice for the victim and their family and that keeps our community safe, end quote. A trip to a local carnival ended in heartbreak. An Austin grandmother was attacked and her small dog was stolen by 3 men. She's now pleading for the dog's return. Fox 7 Austin's Rudy Koski has that story.
Heartbroken is the only way you can describe the way Patricia Ramon feels right now.
I don't know what to feel without that puppy.
Her puppy, a 6-year-old Yorkie by the name of Rummy, was stolen Wednesday night. Inside the small Southeast Austin home where Patricia and her husband live, Rummy's empty dog bed is a constant, painful reminder of their loss.
Just please return her back, please. That's all I ask.
This carnival at the corner of Highway 183 and Lamar is where the dog napping took place. At the time, Patricia was recording videos of her granddaughter and a friend having fun on the rides. She and Rummy stayed behind at their truck because both have limited mobility.
So I was in the tailgate with Rummy. Like I said, I was caressing her, videotaped her, took pictures of her.
A few moments after taking these pictures, around 8:30, she was attacked and Rummy was taken.
As soon as I cut the videotape off, I was caressing her still, and she was kissing me all over my face like she normally does. When someone just came and just like shoved, put his big old arms over me and just like that in her ribs, each one, and just like that. I just seen her look back at me.
You can see the dog thief in this security camera video. He's hovering behind several parked cars and then moves in fast, snatching the dog. He got into a waiting car, which then sped away in front of Taylor Monday.
It just happened so fast, you know.
The red sedan is described as a BMW. Taylor told me the three young men inside the car were laughing as they drove past.
Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, I don't understand why somebody would have done that. Like, it's a poor lady. Like, why would you take a dog from a poor lady? You know, she didn't do anything to him.
Posters have been made offering a reward. Remy is chipped, but she also requires daily medication.
Because you don't know what you did to me. Whoever did it, you just don't know what you did to me, and I know her too. I'm sure she's real sad, real sad. Don't be mean to her, please don't. Don't be mean to her. No. Don't put her with other dogs. She don't know nothing about that either. She needs her bed. She doesn't sleep outside. She doesn't sleep in a crate. She don't know about none of that. She don't.
A spokesperson with the Austin Police Department told me that detectives currently have suspended this case pending any new leads coming in. In North Austin, I'm Rudy Koski, Fox 7 Austin News.
Austin police are looking for the driver who hit a man with his truck, dragging him for several yards, then drove off. This happened early on October 24th near Eastgate Road and Ed Bluestein. The victim was loading up his work trailer when he was hit. Police say he sustained serious bodily injuries. Investigators believe the suspect came from the southbound service road of Ed Bluestein, turned onto Eastgate, hit the victim, and kept going before turning south on Smith Road. If you have any information, you're asked to please call Crime Stoppers. A man who spent 30 years in prison for murder is now a multimillionaire, and the victim's cousin isn't happy. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis.
She was feisty, funny, fearless. She was a character, always cutting up.
Christina Byington's cousin, Anita, was killed in 1991. Alan Andre Causey was convicted of her murder. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison. After spending 30 behind bars, he was released. In 2023, Innocence Project of Texas attorneys filed a petition seeking a new trial.
In these past 3 years, it's been 100 times more traumatic than I could have imagined. I thought, no, I can handle this. This happened a long time. No. It's like they killed her all over again.
The attorneys claimed the only evidence against Causey was a confession he was coerced into, and during his initial trial, evidence was withheld.
Mr. Causey spent 30 years in prison for a murder and a crime he did not commit.
Last year, a district judge ruled there wasn't enough evidence for an actual innocence filing. The case was sent to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. Again, the court didn't find evidence to show Causey to be actually innocent, but found, quote, habeas relief should be granted based on the state's unknowing use of false testimony. The Travis County District Attorney dismissed the case, and the district judge signed off on it.
I was outraged, sickened, all of that. It's horrific. It's horrific. There's no justice in this case.
Causey became eligible for wrongful imprisonment compensation. It's $80,000 for every year in prison. Causey received more than $2.5 million from the state's comptroller's office in July.
I have my cousin's name tattooed on my arm. That's what I have left. You know, this is not right.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Georgetown police say an Encore worker is dead. 2 others were injured after they were pinned between their trucks by a suspected drunk driver. That driver has been identified as Alexander Cruz. Investigators say around 2:30 Sunday afternoon, Cruz was headed south on Kelly Drive near Westinghouse Road and hit one truck, pushing it into the other. A 4th worker was able to escape without being pinned. We're told the 2 other workers are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Cruz has been charged with intoxication manslaughter and intoxication assault. Police are still looking for his passenger who ran from the scene. Police in Kyle are investigating 2 road rage incidents that happened just weeks apart. The first was on October 27th when a woman followed another driver all the way from Austin to their home in Kyle. That woman then assaulted the other driver on their property. Kyle police didn't share too many details about the suspect, but they did say there's an active warrant for their arrest. The other road rage incident happened November 12th, and there was an arrest made. 49-year-old Chad Cortez of Kyle is being charged with assault causing bodily harm after he followed another driver off of I-35 and attacked them once they entered the parking lot. Kyle police are warning drivers to be aware on busy roads like I-35 and never leave their vehicle if they feel like there's a threat.
I think it's just a lack of patience and a lack of roadway. People get frustrated on the road. We're all trying to get to where we want to go and where we need to go, and by the time we need to be there. And I think we need to practice a little bit more empathy, especially in heavy traffic situations like we all experience on I-35. We do not recommend interacting or engaging with anybody who's displaying road rage or driving aggressively in any way. We recommend that you call the police department immediately.
The man accused of beheading a Dallas motel manager in September will not face the death penalty. Here's more on that story from Fox's Sean Rabb.
Shackled and suited out in a tan jail jumper, shadowed by sheriff's deputies, Yordanis Cobos Martinez made his first appearance in a Dallas courtroom. September 10th, Dallas police arrested Cobos Martinez about 30 minutes after he allegedly beheaded the motel manager where the two men worked. 50-year-old Chandra Ben Nagamalaya, murdered in front of his family.
State of Texas versus Yordanis Cobo Martinez. Is that your name, sir?
Through an interpreter, the 37-year-old answered Judge Leela Lawrence Mays.
Yes. Oh, very good.
Cobos Martinez is charged with capital murder for the horrific machete attack. That, like his arrest, was caught on tape.
What is the state's opinion as it relates to, or at least the decision as it relates to seeking the death penalty?
Your Honor, at this point, based on our investigation and my conversations, the state of Texas is not seeking the death penalty, but we do reserve the right to change our mind should anything come up.
That caused court-appointed defense counsel Leyland Peel to tell the judge the state's intention needs to be clear.
That doesn't really tell me anything. They reserve the right to seek death. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a death case until they officially come out and file a document that says they're not seeking death.
Cobos Martinez at times looked around at no one in particular, as he said quietly, but his time in the U.S. has been anything but. The Cuban national has a history in other states like California that includes child sex abuse, false imprisonment, and carjacking. According to ICE records, Cobos Martinez was in ICE custody in Dallas, but was released in January when his native Cuba refused to take him back because of his criminal history. His attorney says to properly defend him means psychological evaluations by experts and more at taxpayers' expense.
I'm not going to talk about things that my client and I have discussed or any of my experts or anything at this point. But obviously, he's not from the United States. Mitigation is going to need to be done. That mitigation would entail having to make trips either by counsel or mitigation experts to Cuba and maybe some other destinations as well.
Sean Rabb, Fox 4 News.
Two Texas men have been accused of a shocking plot to assault a Haitian island. Fox's Alex Boyer has that story.
These are the North Texas men federal prosecutors say were planning to travel to an island in Haiti to kill the men and turn the women into sex slaves. Dr. Alex Del Carmen calls it the most bizarre case he's seen in his entire career.
Well, you know, this is a very unusual case, right?
According to a federal indictment, 21-year-old Gavin Weisenberg from Allen and 20-year-old Tanner Thomas from Argyle had been plotting to invade Gonave Island with a population of 87,000, which is part of Haiti. Prosecutors say Weisenberg and Thomas planned to invade the island by sailboat, heavily armed, using homeless people they would enlist from Washington, D.C. to murder the men on the island, take control of the territory, and then turn the women into sex slaves. Prosecutors say Thomas prepared for the attack by enlisting in the Air Force for military training, and Weisenberg enrolled in a fire training academy but later flunked out. Both men are accused of manufacturing child pornography by manipulating and exploiting a juvenile. I talked to Del Carmen about the wild and highly implausible scheme.
I think it's more than just talk, right? So typically what federal prosecutors will do is they're going to look at what sort of planification, took place, and whether or not there was an intent. And in addition to the intent, whether these individuals had the capability of doing this. And all of these elements of the crime are present in this particular case.
But in a statement to Fox 4 News, the attorney for Gavin Weisenberg said, "I encourage everyone to hold their horses and stay tuned. An indictment is simply an allegation. And while there is some truth to the allegations, I believe that it will become clear what actually did not, and could not have happened." If your initial response to the government's press release was, "That sounds crazy, impossible, and absurd," you might be onto something.
I've seen a lot, but I've never seen anything like this before on U.S. soil.
And we'll close things out with a positive ending for one family and their pet turkey, Charlene, who has been returned. The family says they heard a loud knock at the door around 4 on November 24th, just before Thanksgiving. When they opened the front door, Charlene was on the front porch with no sign of her abductor or their vehicle. The turkey was stolen from her owner's farm in the early morning hours the day before. We appreciate you watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch YouTube exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. For more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel. And remember, you can also stream all our content and our newscasts with our Fox local apps. They're free to download and available for your phone, as well as connected TV platforms like Roku and Apple TV.